and Kate found the Traveling Groomers podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Mary Aquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming, grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I will totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll.
Okay, so we have a couple of guests.
We have all, and I have no idea if our mics are working or not, but we have all of Team Evolution shears. So yeah, no clue on the sound. I just now hit the live button or hit the record button on my end. So welcome to episode number 217, recorded live in Colorado Springs with all of Team Evolution shears.
So introduce for those who don't know.
Well, if you're listening here, I hope you know who I am. I am one of your stellar co-hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. We have the founders of Evolution Shears, in no particular order, Abby and Mohan. And we have Mindy, who decided to do sit-ups right then.
Because I was not a founder.
And we also have our customer service specialist.
Customer relations.
Our customer
service.
Oh yeah, I'm the customer service specialist for Evolution Shears. Luke is customer relations.
All right, so you guys are in the Colorado show, which I am not there, obviously.
Clearly.
Okay, so this will be, all about the traveling to the shows, because in case you missed it, Chris posted a photo earlier today.
Oh my God. Did I show you this, Mo? No. Okay. You know how you hear stories? You hear stories about people behaving poorly on airplanes. So sometime mid-flight, I happened to glance. I was on an aisle seat for my second flight, and I happened to glance to my left, and I see a foot in a sock. Not in a shoe, just a free-range foot. Yes, it was attached to the other passenger, but I was so shocked because I'm like, who does this?
I saw a guy on our last flight remove his tennis shoes to
air them out.
His feet.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to say this. All right. So when I first saw it, I was like, you know what? Okay. She kept her sock on. It wasn't that bad. But then, Abby just made a really good point. That means there's a shoe there that's marinating in the air.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The joys of traveling.
Okay. Hold on a second.
What? I didn't.
All right. So, Chris. All right.
Yes.
The joys of technology when doing things when we do things live. All right.
Oh, did you not go onto YouTube?
No, I have not been on YouTube yet. Why?
Because you were going to put this on YouTube.
It is on YouTube. It is.
Oh, that's what I asked you.
No. Whatever, Chris. All right. So yes, it's on live. It's on YouTube and it's on a couple of the Facebook channels. So we're all here. So if you have any questions you want to ask of us or of Abby and Mo, since they're here, please drop them in the questions. We will get to them. All right. So Colorado is a new show, correct?
Yes, it is a brand new show. We are very excited and hopeful.
All right. So you guys set up today?
No. There was some confusion.
It's a surprise setup.
There was some confusion at the venue on their end. We're
unable to get in there today, so we set up tomorrow morning early, and the show will start at noon.
Yes. So there are classes early, but the trade show starts at noon because we're getting in there early to set up.
Okay. All right.
It'll be fun.
All right. The choice of a new show.
Oh, classes don't start until noon either?
No,
Okay. Oh,
I don't think so.
I thought they were earlier. I don't know. Somebody with the schedule will tell us. We'll find out.
It's a new
Yeah.
show, and I have to say that Tina Davis was so brave
Oh, yeah.
and probably didn't realize what she was getting into when she said, I know, let's put on a show. So she's finding out now.
Okay. Yes.
Hopefully everything will go well.
Which is why hosting a trade show, a live trade show, is nowhere on my to-do list.
Right,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
I think I could die like not doing that and think, yeah,
And be happy.
and yeah, have a life well lived, never having done that. So yeah.
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 So, I guess I'm also a co-host, so I can ask y'all questions
Yes,
too.
you can.
So
Uh-oh.
we were talking about this at
We're in
dinner.
trouble now.
You're keep them easy. Okay.
Keep 'em easy. It's early.
So what is it like traveling to as many shows as you do? Because I know I miss one or two. How many shows do you do a year, counting the dog shows? Because I know you do a couple dog shows. So how many shows total are y'all at per year?
About 16.
16. Yeah,
How
not
many?
as high as it should- not as high as-
16.
Wow.
Including the
nice.
dog shows.
60, because that's including some of the dog shows, some of the more local.
It could be more.
It could be more, but they like living.
My
Oh,
lovely-
hello, Tina.
Oh, hey,
I'm
Tina.
guessing that's just you because it says Rocky Mountain Groom Expo.
Okay, so all right. 16 shows. Yeah, and I'm going to stop complaining about the number of shows I'm
And
doing
that's
this
all
year.
between mid-February and
November.
November.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so our neighbor's
It's-
favorite question is how long are you home?
pretty much.
Yeah, that's
So
When are
that's-
you going to
another
cut your
question.
lawn?
When are
Yeah.
you going to cut your lawn?
What's the question, Mary?
How long are they home then?
Well, when we get home this time, we're home for 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's quite a bit.
That's like a vacation.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm very
That's
excited.
Crazy. Crazy. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Get to reacquaint myself with the dog.
I'm going to build a boat from
Yeah.
wood or
Turn
something.
this back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, it
Yeah.
just got so cold.
I don't know.
Uh,
Live in a garden, perhaps.
What was that?
Yes.
Water in your garden.
Yes. Yes. I'm
But-
going to do all that.
But we get to do fun stuff. Like, do we want to talk about what we did today and some of the perils of traveling?
Absolutely.
And look at what I picked up a souvenir today.
A walking stick.
Yeah, ask me why I picked up a walking stick.
Why'd you pick up a walking stick?
Because curbs hate me today. Curbs hate me.
Yes. Yes.
I started this with a brace on my ankle because my ankle was like meh because I got a flat foot. So one of the things we were going to do today was we wanted to see Garden of the Gods. We didn't think we had the time for Pikes Peak.
All right, what's Garden of the Gods? Let's start there.
Oh,
It is a very, very large park. It is basically,
rocks.
it's rocks. It's gorgeous, gorgeous rocks and mountains. And it was a sacred space for the Native Americans. And it was
1,400 acres.
it is now 1,400 acres. And it is
Started out at 460.
All the pictures in the gardens were on Mo's phone.
Okay.
So gorgeous, gorgeous red rocks. There will be.
That just
And by the way, this will go up as a Where in the World is E3 Luke. So if you're watching this, you got an in, like where we were. But we did a Jeep tour because it's many, many acres and we weren't walking that much. And I stepped off the curb wrong to get in the Jeep and I heard a pop.
Can I see that?
And And they have these great walking sticks as souvenirs at the visitor center. So yay.
Okay, so I got a question.
Uh-huh.
Are you teaching a class loosely titled "How to Take Care of Yourself"?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And this ties in. This works. It's fine. It's not hypocritical at all because at least I did have the brace and I did alter my plans. Well, we didn't alter. We weren't walking anyway.
There was
But-
no altering.
There was no altering.
There was no altering.
No, because we were getting in the Jeep.
We were getting in the Jeep because I was already limping.
Now,
Right.
mind you, as we're getting into the Jeep, this Jeep is like,
Oh my God.
it's
They got a step stool for me to get into the Jeep. That's all I'm
I
saying.
got a step stool for me to get out.
it's really high.
It's really high.
Think Louisiana swamp buggy.
Yes.
So we're all trying to roll into this Jeep.
And I don't know what kind of noise I made, but another guide came out from nowhere and just like swooped on me. You okay? I heard that. I'm like, I'm just holding on to the back of the Jeep. I'm like, fine. I'm fine. Look, there's no accounting for klutziness.
Okay.
And I am going to do some self-care tonight. Right after this podcast, I'm icing it. I'm getting in bed. I'm icing. I have my anti-inflammatories. And I have a sturdy walking stick.
That's right.
I have to say,
Which they
that
sell for
usually-
a reason there because of
yes,
high
that's
perks.
that's why they do
Yes,
it.
because
I
of
have
high
to
perks.
say that normally you and Mindy and Luke go
Yeah.
and do something fun
Yes.
on Thursdays before a show.
Yeah.
And this is really the first time that we have been able to do it.
Second, the
Space
needle.
Space
We went to
Needle.
the needle together.
That was before the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Seattle. Okay.
All right. So we
Time.
have,
But it was so much fun.
we do have a comment here, and I'm it's all it says for us is Facebook user, but I'm going to bet I don't know $1,000 right now that Facebook user is Anita. Anyone like fishing? Because she heard the word boat.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's Anita. Can someone confirm that for me? Oh, is Patsy there? Patsy, are you at the Colorado show?
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, and I have you want my take my thing. And in my wellness class on Saturday, I have props. I have props and I have this whole thing and this whole analogy that I'm going to save for the class because it's the first time I've done this in this
So,
particular way in a class.
You have more props than you started out with, correct?
But now I have more props than I started out with. But I'm hoping by Saturday that I won't need it because the props kind of involved me walking around the room
Okay.
without aid of something. But
All right,
shit happens.
Okay, so Tina's got some really good people there for the show. First of all, we
Yeah.
got Patsy, who will be coming in late tomorrow. So what are some of the classes that are being taught at the show? Now, this is a little different venue than maybe what
Yes.
people are used to for trade shows, correct?
Yes. This is at and it sounds weird, but Tina was describing the venue. It's a doggy daycare and kennel, but it is huge and they have like agility stuff for the dogs and they do have classrooms and they have a pool for the dogs and they have all this awesome stuff. And I can't wait to see it. So it's going to be a much different venue. Off the top of my head, and Mindy can go over her classes. I know Angie Coates is doing her certification class, her salon sanitation, and it is a certificate class. It is an all-day class. It is PGC approved. It's a certificate class. What else is she doing? My brain's been fried.
Okay. And for those who are on the fence about you're at the show and whether or not you should take Angie's class, I have taken that class. It is a fabulous class.
It is on my list, and I know it's for those of you who are not at the show, I think it's also coming up on the Positive Ed.
Yes.
So don't feel super left out. If you're here, go, because you'll get a certificate. It's a fantastic, fantastic class. I'm teaching a 4-hour groomer wellness. I'm teaching my Everything Shears class, which has been updated to include curved chunkers and thinners. And a customer service class, how to provide excellent customer service without being a doormat.
Okay. So just rounding back to Angie, she is going to do the July summit, which is safety and sanitation. And so the class that she's doing at the Rocky Mountain, she will also be doing on the summit. So if you miss or you're not at the show, you have another opportunity to take the class. It's an absolutely wonderful class.
Mindy, what class are you doing?
I'm doing my certificate geriatric class.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm doing a brand new class that I just started this year, and it's certification simplified, explaining all the different certification organizations, how they go about your certification, and helping you to decide which path is right for you.
Nice.
I'm doing an Asian fusion class and a hot mess to marvelous class.
Okay, cool.
And it is about time, since you told me you could hear the commercials. We can't. I'm just going to look at the blinking button.
You know what? Why don't we just say this is a live podcast? Why don't we just do shout outs?
But I have buttons. I can hit
being
my
a household
buttons.
groomer, but I hate doing
You're
laundry
taking
or worrying
buttons.
about.
I can stop it. Okay. She does this to
Do
me
a
all the
shout out.
time.
Come on, add the-
And I don't
can
think
do
you
it.
understand how much I love my toys.
Okay.
Flashing button.
And my flashing
However,
buttons. So
however, if we started this earlier, perhaps I would be, I don't know, more inclined
so
to let
wait,
you push some buttons.
let's do our shout out to Ray Pat.
Okay.
Because I have a list on and everything gets cycled. So y'all were first last week. So shout out to Ray Pat. Thank you for being one of our fantastic sponsors. This is definitely an area where their tick remover would come in handy with hiking, because it's a very, very outdoorsy area. So that the tick remover in the bowl. So, okay, fine. I'll check that off.
All right. So I also want to make another note about Ray Pet. So Super Zoo and Hershey is also going to let us do a live podcast. And Ray Pet is sending me samples for Super
Oh, shit.
Zoo.
I didn't ask them yet. Don't put them on the spot.
I've already started.
Oh, shit.
All right. So Ray Pet is sending us samples so that if you come see us at Super Zoo or Hershey while we are doing the podcast, the live podcast, we will give you samples. And in fact, we could talk about each of what anyone is doing when we do their shout out. How's that?
Okay. More or less. But I want to get back to something you touched on, because I know we bust each other's chops constantly. It's just a thing. But when you said the thing about if we'd have started earlier, I wanted to talk about the realities of being at a show and traveling and not knowing what's necessarily going to happen. It is so difficult to make plans, right? Like, we were trying to find a place to eat that was super close. We didn't know how long the tour was going to be. Everyone's flight was delayed. So everything ran later than we wanted it to be. It's really hard to plan sometimes.
Okay.
All the time.
Especially
Hard
I think for a new show where we go to Hershey, we go to Super Zoo, Tacoma. We know the restaurants. We know where we're going. Okay. We know which ones we have to make reservations for. All right. And we know which ones that, it's not going to be much of a wait at a trade show. So we know these things. We know the hotels in the area. One of the earliest mistakes I made when the first time I went to the Tacoma show was that, I was going to save a couple of bucks on the hotel and stay at the La Quinta in downtown Tacoma. And
Whoops.
And what happened there?
Oh no, we will just never ever stay there ever again. All right.
Yeah.
I make our hotel reservations for the Murano,
Oh yeah.
I think, in like November of the year before. I really do, because the one time we got blocked out because the rooms were gone, and we had to. I mean, it was quite a hike.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Murano, year 2 going forward, hotel at the Murano. Who
Mhm.
cares what it costs? It's a nice hotel, so we're
Mhm.
fine there.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So, yeah. So, but you don't have that at the Colorado. It's a brand new show. You're not familiar with the hotels. You're not familiar with the restaurants.
And Tina did do a great job getting a block of rooms at a discounted price. So that's something like in new shows, you never know what the hotels are going to be like. We stay at a range of hotels from like the Hotel Murano is swanky.
Oh, Chicago's.
And the Chicago, the host hotel,
The Renaissance.
the Renaissance is just,
Yeah.
They got TVs in the mirrors.
that's a little creepy though. I'm not going to lie. When I am sitting at the end of the day, that first stop you do,
Yeah.
and there's, you're doing
TV.
private things,
Turn on
and
the light.
and you turn on the light, and a
Somebody's
TV
talking.
pops on in the mirror,
In the
like
mirror.
next to you, and you're like, don't look at me.
Chicago?
Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It cannot possibly be worse than the former hotel for the New
Oh
England.
my God!
For
Wait,
where?
she's gonna talk about New England.
Oh,
She.
hey, we like that place.
I like this.
Smells a little moldy, but the
See?
view is great at the lake.
Don't get
Okay.
her started. Every
no.
time we talk about trade shows, yeah.
Wow.
The Schaumburg Host Hotel,
No,
No,
Sturbridge.
the Sturbridge.
Sturbridge.
I'm Schaumburg. I'm
Now.
confusing my
It
states.
Needs updating.
Needs
Oh,
That
okay.
place-
Yeah.
That
Updating
lake.
would be a good word for it. Have they not heard the last time I was at the host hotel in Sturbridge? Did you not hear this story?
Probably not. We've all
Go
but
ahead.
they
Go
haven't,
ahead.
so go for it.
We're getting
Okay.
time waiting for it.
All right. So the last year I was there with Spirit, who is already arthritic and it couldn't do stairs, so I requested a ground floor. All right. Because you can't really trust the elevator there. Okay.
No.
So I get to the room and it's a little cold because it's October, right? So I go and I check the slider door, and of course it's open, ground floor, mind you. And I go to lock it, and I can't lock it because it won't close all the way. There's like a gap. So when
Love
I
that
call,
place.
yeah, on the ground floor, mind you. So I
Yeah.
call maintenance, and they come to the room and they go, "Oh yeah, the door's broken."
Yeah. Come on in. Come on in. Yeah.
Later.
Okay,
Welcome. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Can you fix it? Oh no, the lock here is busted. We can't fix this. And he gives me a stick so that I could put it into the thing so people can't open up the door all the way.
Okay.
Did
But
any-
it's still open.
it worked.
It's still open.
Well,
Mo,
yeah.
it was open. It was October.
I know.
It's cold.
Nobody came in.
No,
They saw the stick.
no person came
Problem
in.
They
solved.
saw
You don't
the
know the
stick.
mouse came
They
in.
figured she's got a stick. I can't go in there.
Did you
It's all
die
in the
though?
mind.
Did you die?
Now on the flip
Did you
side,
die?
on the flip side, Spirit really and truly enjoyed it.
Yeah, he did.
It was like icicles hanging off the window, but he was very happy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
moving it along.
moving it along, since you told us not to play commercials, I'm gonna say we already did a good shout out for Positive Ed and talking about the upcoming.
No, I'm fine with that, but let me tell you what I'm going to give at the Hershey and the Super Zoo.
Oh, you ordered them.
Okay, yes. 2 things. I ordered stickers, okay? I ordered 2 sets of stickers for the traveling groomers. Both of them have the logo, and one of them says "We digress," and the other one says You know that?
I will tell you that story later.
Okay.
Let's just say my contractor was having a bad day. I'm going to chalk it up to he was just having a bad day and he almost died. But I'm a hero because I didn't kill him.
Good. We're very proud of you, Chris.
Good.
But
Uh,
I'm going to bring one of my Positive Ed travel mugs.
ooh.
Ooh, yeah. So the first person who comes and asks for it will get it at Hershey and at Super Zoo at the live podcast. Yes.
At the live, you have to specify at the live podcast because somebody will track you down at the hotel. You just randomly walking down the hall with all your luggage.
Podcast. All right.
Okay.
Once we go through the opening, so Chris will can press her buttons. Okay.
I have to press my buttons.
All right. And then someone can say, I want the mug, and I will give you the mug. But it's just one. But go ahead.
This one. So since we talked about that, and all right, we just said that we digress is kind of a catchphrase. We have not really asked you any evolution questions, and we want to do that because I know the story, but I don't know if all of our listeners know how Evolution Shears was born.
Yeah, I would like to hear that.
Oh yeah, and anybody listening, type in,
Anybody know
have you heard how evolution was born? And now I got to think of another question to ask to give them time to answer that. Just for that, I'm going to eat some of your Twizzlers. You know that, right? Just for that.
I need the
how? Yes,
licorice.
I have them.
Okay, but not the licorice ones.
All
red
right. If they're Twizzlers, they have to be the red ones.
Well, yeah, but Mo also likes licorice.
Mo also likes licorice.
Mo, I love licorice. Okay.
Oh,
Ah,
there's the red ones. Strawberry, not cherry red ones.
And
Hey, one at
black.
a time. You gotta eat one at a time.
no.
No, I'm full.
Black and red. Black on one side,
Okay.
red on the other.
So no one is answering, and nobody just wants to see me just, eat Twizzlers. So Abby, why don't you tell us how evolution came to be?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I was a dog groomer. Had to stop dog grooming because my hand got so bad that I dropped a wine glass in a restaurant. And that was kind of like the final straw because I said, I'm either going to drink wine or I'm going to keep grooming. And I don't groom anymore. At any rate. So we went into sharpening because Mo couldn't paint anymore. He had a heart attack and he really didn't want to do that. And I couldn't groom anymore. So we went into sharpening because my sharpener wanted to move to California. So they
Florida.
taught us how to sharpen. Florida, sorry. California. So we learned how to sharpen and we started doing that. And one day we were playing around with our friend who had not yet moved. And we just kind of said, well, what I don't understand is why my thumb has to be here. Why can't it be here where it would make much more sense? And then if you look at my hand and you look at anybody else with a normal hand, why would we both
Can
use
they
the
even
same
see?
scissor?
I can
don't know.
yeah.
You can palm my palm.
I can palm her
Yes.
palm.
And so we tried to find a logical, sensible, mechanically reliable way to be able to customize the scissor to whatever hand size or ailments. And that's how it started. And it just kind of has grown organically. We never had the huge bankroll in order to push it out on Amazon and do all kinds of mad advertising. So it's just kind of been a slow, steady
Which is
growth.
why they do so many trade shows.
It's not anything you could do on Amazon because
Yeah, but people buy them online.
Yeah.
And they get instructions on how to move it and, and how to fit it with them. We send them with a complete set of finger and so
All right.
they can fit their fingers. And
A videographer, just so you know. She just learned this now. Also, you are looking at the entire company. It is really Mo and Abby, and Mindy and I are support. So when you're talking about sharpening, and if they're home, and the turnaround time, or dealing with big companies versus dealing with mom and pop companies, this is everyone.
we do bring mailing supplies. So if somebody places an order
Yeah.
online, we can ship it out from
the
wherever we
shelf,
are.
Wherever we
Yeah.
are.
But,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
we do that a lot.
They do.
From
we do
everywhere.
actually. Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
every show. Almost
Crazy.
every
It's
show.
Crazy.
All right, so
Something
a
goes
question for you, because I've seen you set up and I've seen you take down a booth.
Yes.
What's your best time?
Oh, set up and breakdown.
Well,
Wait
2
a minute.
hours
Do you
once?
mean what's the fastest we've ever done it?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
your best time?
Set up or
Best time.
breakdown?
Both. Let's do setup. What's your best time to set up? How fast
set
have you
up
done
probably
it?
2.5 hours.
Hold on. It depends. If Randy's there,
Oh, if
It
some of
takes
my
longer.
friends are there,
if Bob is there, it takes super long
even longer.
because there's chatting. There's
Yes.
chatting and
And it's all a big family, and we can't wait to see each other.
we can do it in about an hour and a
And
half.
then it takes a lot of time.
And then also depends on because there
but it very
where
rarely
we
happens.
have, there's a certain way we like the banners. So it's getting those getting those poles for those banners. It's getting, making sure that the tables are correct. So it's not, it depends a lot on the venue and how fast they are at responding to, look,
We
we
need
were
this,
supposed to have
we need
this,
that,
or we need this, or so it
You delivered 3 8 tables and a 6. We needed 3 6s and an 8. It
And also, that's
Yeah.
not counting Mindy and I going through all the demo shares, because
They should get shipped a long way. And a lot happens because airlines don't care.
So our demo shears are only demos.
Yes.
However,
They got to work perfectly.
at the beginning of every show, Mindy
They
and I
have to
go
be-
through and are picky about every demo shear. And if it's not perfect, it goes to Mo to sharpen
or adjust.
or adjust, or
Basically
no,
adjust.
just big. Yeah, usually
It's an
adjust.
because they get jostled. Yeah.
But
But it shows you just how much wear and tear they go through.
Yeah.
When you're feeling them at the booth, they feel perfect.
And then
And it's not a sharpening, because it's
Yeah.
not that. It's just jostled, where you get hundreds of pairs being beaten up by a monkey trying to from one suitcase to the next. I mean, it's awful. What the
just thrown
scissors go
around.
through.
And
So
then
they have to be adjusted, and the girls do a great job.
And then we do that throughout the show randomly, because then 50 different groomers with different hand pressures test them. And sometimes they need retweaking and readjusting throughout the show.
I just want to make a mention. Angie is stuck in Dallas.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and she'll be there in about 4 hours. Wow, that's it's already 10 o'clock your time, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. I lost track. I don't
Okay.
even know anymore.
Yeah.
So she's not coming into 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. 10:01.
Wow. Yeah.
Yow.
Mm.
Yowzers.
That's why we try to get that's we try to get it to where we are flying in first thing in the morning on Thursday. Number one, so that we can go see things, but also because especially nowadays there's so many delays, and I got delayed in Dallas this morning because there was fog here, and
Mhm.
we had to sit at the we were already loaded on the plane. We had to sit on the plane for a half an hour before they gave us clearance to take off so that we could land here.
We were actually canceled, so we got here a day late.
Yeah.
Well, I'm flying into Hershey, and for the first time, I'm flying in the day of, because I'm not teaching to the evening.
Oh,
So yeah, so
Oh,
pray.
you're a brave
Good
soul.
luck with
I'm
that.
gonna be really brave. But though I do have a ride from the airport, so I'm flying into Harrisburg, so not like Philadelphia or anything like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So at least Harrisburg Airport's pretty close.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, it
good.
is. You should
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah.
Patsy drives whenever she can. You know, it's always the best option. When I lived in Connecticut, I would drive to Hershey, I would drive to New England, I would drive to Groom, and would actually drive to Atlanta Pet Fair because we were also bringing in stuffed dogs.
I typically drive to 3 shows, Hershey, Pet Quest, and typically Chicago. But the way the shows work sometimes, this year, one year, this will be the second year that I had to fly from Detroit to Chicago, where I'm like closer, I'm having to go the wrong direction to go to Detroit to catch a flight to go back to Chicago, because Chicago, we pack up on, we do the show Sunday, we pack up, we have to catch a 9:00 flight to Las Vegas to get ready for Super Zoo.
But my favorite this year,
Oh,
and
God,
tell
help
me if
us
you
all.
don't follow this, but Mo and I have to drive from Myrtle Beach to Massachusetts to do the New England show, so that we can drive from New England to Orlando Airport to leave the car there and catch a flight to Dallas to do the Dallas show, the ISCC Pet Pro Classic. And when we're done with that show, we fly back to Orlando to do the Orlando show and then drive home from there. And it's the only way we could do all 3 shows and have everything where we need it. All the displays, all the test scissors, all the everything else, have and ship to Dallas and just to Dallas. And I don't know.
and that's part of being a mom and pop show, because unfortunately, don't have bankroll to carry the amount of shears that it would take to ship to all 3 shows and have it there and just ship it back. There's just not the stock to do that.
The only time driving screwed me up was when Beth and I were driving to Groom, and to drive to Groom, we got on the New Jersey Turnpike and we're yapping away, and we realized we were like halfway to Delaware. And it's not like we could just get off and turn
Listen,
around.
Mary, New Jersey is not for the weak. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had to still drive like 20 miles to get to the exit so we could get off the exit and turn around. I mean, we literally, we got to the show, loaded up the classroom with like 30 seconds to spare. We literally had everything set up. We sat down, we wanted to die, and people are walking in for the class. We made it.
Yeah.
Yep. Always an adventure.
Yeah.
Always an adventure. So I'm going to do our next shout out. I'm not really going to hit a button.
And speaking
Just
of
going to give you a
continuing
tease of
education,
what the
because
button
we
is.
either were.
But shout out for Andis.
Okay, so Andis, all right. They have a coupon code for their programs. Okay. And Nicole is going to try, she said she would try, Chris, to actually print out coupons that we could hand out at the podcast.
That's nice.
It's a great
There you
idea.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a super idea.
Write that
Leave
one
it to
down.
Andis. Very good.
Yeah, I agree. New Jersey interstate
Very nice.
is crazy. All right. And here's the thing too. The state troopers can pretty much do whatever they want on 95. Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, they can. If they have a bee up their bonnet, and I've been on the interstate when this has happened, where they would just turn their lights on and get in, and nobody's going past them because they're going from lane to lane to lane with their lights on and keeping us all at just below the speed limit.
Yep.
That was fun, Chris. That was fun.
We won't talk about New Jersey cops.
Wait, Mary.
Yes.
Do you mean to say that if there wasn't a cop right there monitoring, you would be committing a crime and speeding? You're saying you would be
You don't
speeding?
even have to commit a crime for them to give you a ticket.
Hey, listen,
Oh, that is true.
you're talking to the person who got a speeding ticket on the Autobahn. So yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, what about?
So
Apparently, there are
How did you do
sections.
that? Topless? They don't give you a ticket for speeding.
oh yeah.
There are parts of the Autobahn that
Really?
have a speed limit,
Yes.
and they'll enforce it.
Wow.
Although I'm a little jealous of that. That is just a fantastic. Like I got a speeding ticket on the Autobahn.
Yeah. And here,
Bragging rights for the rest of my life. I would
You
frame
definitely
that
have
some
that.
bitch.
Yes,
here,
I would.
here's the thing. It's the ticket is somewhere packed in some box somewhere. I don't know where.
Be on
But
a
anyway,
wall.
the
Yeah.
thing is, because it was a rental car, all right. If I would have known the ticket was only $25. Yeah. Okay, this is years ago. This is 2006. I'm sure it's more now. All right. But if I would have known that ticket was only $25 because I was not a German resident, and it was a rental car, I might have racked up more than one.
Just like wallpapered a
Wow.
section.
Atta girl.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. How many miles an hour were you over?
I have no idea because my rental
It
car,
was in
Kilometers.
kilometers.
yeah, because it was in kilometers. I have no idea what I was doing. Okay.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
I was going this fast.
Yeah. But it was an Audi with a V6 engine. Oh, it was a beautiful car.
It's typical for 130 to 140 kilometers.
Whatever that is in miles per hour, I still don't know. Okay.
Fast.
Yes. Yes.
And here's the thing, too, right? So, like in the main areas of the Autobahn where there really and truly is no speed limit, okay? They drive really fast, okay? And a lot of the cars are tiny.
Yeah.
They're literally like this big. All right. So if you're in an accident in a car that's I don't know 2x2,
Yes.
you're gonna get creamed in that.
Pretty much.
Whatever.
But
The car we had when I lived in Spain, literally the back seat was two poles with like a piece of material. It was like a hammock. There was a hammock for the back seat.
was it a Trabant though?
A hammock.
I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I don't
so
remember what
the
it
the
was.
the Trabant or the Trabi.
Good night, Patsy. And I think
Night. That was the East German car. I don't think they're really around anymore. And that was, if I recall correctly, you had to get on a long waiting list to get the car, and the engine was sold separately.
No way.
Wow. So you
That's what I
build
was
it
told.
as you want.
That's not really. No, this was
No?
East Germany.
No.
You,
Yeah.
you got what they gave you and you were grateful for it. Now, that is what I was told when I was in high school. Somebody could have lied to gullible me, but who knows? Who knows? All right. Do we have any more questions? Or Mary, do you have any more questions for?
no. We got your best setup time. What about your
Breakdown.
the breakdown? What is the fastest
Actually,
you could
we've
have
done
done?
it in an hour.
Yeah.
About 8 minutes.
Yeah, about 8 minutes.
Because we are just set up to here and done.
And I think that was the other
Yes.
time that we went
Every
from
time,
from
Chicago
Chicago
to
to
Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
I was going to say
Because
that's
we
what
were
that was.
busting butt because we had to get to a plane.
Yeah. 8 minutes.
That's what that was. Yeah.
I liked that trip because Mo and I went to pick up the rental car
Uh-huh.
and we left you with all of the luggage sitting outside the terminal and then we couldn't find you. We had no
Find
clue
you.
where we had
It
left
was
you. God.
that was stressful. That
Yeah,
was a stressful trip. And it was Vegas. And even though it was night, it was ball soup out there.
Oh, it was so
It was
hot. Luke looked up at me like, what? Because he's used to going from the show, then go home and relax.
Yeah.
He got out of that terminal, and it was like you knew what he was
Boom.
thinking. The heat hit him,
We're
and he
not
looked at
home.
me like, what the hell?
Tell him what he did going through security this time. I love it.
Okay, the joys of traveling.
Yes.
Go. Yeah.
Okay, so we travel so much. Luke has learned the routine, and we're TSA pre-check. So I'm at the I'm at
The part where you empty
at
your
TSA,
stuff. Yeah.
and I'm putting my luggage and stuff in. Well, I always take his collar and leash off because it has metal on it, and put it in the thing. Well, I took it off. I turn around and I put it in the thing. I look, and he's standing on the other side of TSA, looking at me like, okay.
He had gone through
He had already gone through the metal detector.
Yeah.
Because I always send them through. I'm like, no, you come back. You have to wait for me. So he comes back through, and he looks at me. He sits down, and they were waiting for a female officer because he goes through one machine. I go through another machine. So we wait for the female officer, and he's like, okay. I'm like, he knows the routine. I said, he'll go through, he'll come around to the other side, and he'll sit, and he'll wait for me then. They're like, okay. So then I said, okay, go. And he goes running through, and he goes around the other side. He stops, and he sits, and he looks at me, and I get in the machine, and I'm got my hands up and everything. And then they're like, okay, yeah, you guys do this a little bit too much then.
And I don't think people realize just how hot in August Vegas is if you're not used to that heat.
Oh.
Or
Yeah.
the fact that we're in a casino for the entire time. I can remember one year we never stepped foot outside of the casino, and then we went back to get to the airport, and it was the first time I had seen sunlight in days.
But the casinos connect too.
Yes, there's no
Like,
reason to go
I
out.
got so
People
lost
underground.
last year
Underground.
trying to
casino
get out
casino.
to meet my Uber
Yeah.
driver. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm 3 casinos down the strip. And I'm just going through tunnels, and it's very surreal. It was like,
Yeah.
I had no idea where I was. I had to backtrack. It was a thing.
Yeah, so I was literally blinded. I couldn't see for like 30 seconds. It was the first time I had seen sunlight in like 4 days.
It hurts.
Burns.
Yeah, it was like I'm blind. I can't see.
See, that's why we like staying off site at our super secret location.
Yeah, super secret.
I was so rude to Tina. I'm so sorry, Tina. We were talking about it. She asked, and I'm like,
I can't tell.
it's off strip. It's
Yeah.
lovely, and it's off strip.
Yeah.
Because one of the things about being at shows and traveling is everyone stays usually for established shows at like the same 2 or 3 hotels.
Right.
So there's almost no downtime. You're always on because you never know who you're going to talk to. There's always work in business. So when we found a spot where it's like, I don't think anybody else from the show is here. We're not telling. I didn't even tell you, Mary.
I know. I don't know. I'm going to have to follow them. Oh.
Oh, you're going to have to follow that car. You're going to get an
have to
Uber.
keep up, though.
Oh, no. I'm going to drop an air tag in one of your bags.
Because we switched
Ooh,
cars twice.
I'm going to have to
Yeah.
search my bags now.
Yeah.
I'll drop an air tag in one of your bags. I won't tell you.
Okay.
How.
Okay.
That may work.
Uh-huh.
Work pretty quick.
I see. All right. So I am going to allude to another button.
Okay.
Envy Engineering isn't just for mobile.
And say, let's give Hanvy a shout out.
Okay. So Hanvy is giving us well wishes because there isn't really much that they could send us as far as samples.
Yeah. It's not. What are they going to do? Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. If you were looking forward to a free van, it's not going to
It's
happen.
not happening.
Not happening. And I'm okay with that because they
Okay.
need to stay in business.
Yes.
But they will give us well wishes. Maybe they'll stop by and like.
I don't know if they're going to be at I don't know if they're going to be at Vegas. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Yes, they might be at those. They should be at Hershey because I'm like, a Hershey without Hanvy is just
Just raw.
Like a Hershey. It's like a Hershey without
Take
us.
over.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a thing. I'm not. I'm being a wise ass. And by the way, voting is coming up soon for nominations. So we have a product, we have a podcast right
Yes,
here.
the Traveling Groomers podcast. We need the metal buttons. We need the metal pins or whatever they are.
The medals,
We need the medals.
I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're, I forget
I
if,
think it's a ribbon.
I think it's a ribbon medal that I am 100% going to wear as bling behind the booth if we get one. So you know.
We may have to fight over that.
You don't think you'd each get one?
No, they don't.
Oh.
If you want.
Oh,
There might be fist fights at Groom Expo. Just saying.
there 100% needs to be. There needs to be at least post fist fights. Now,
Yeah.
if we win, just guys vote for us so you can see Mary and I duke it out.
There you go. Now that's something I'd pay for.
Right?
I got $8.50 cash.
Yeah.
$8, and he means $8.50.
$8.50 cash. You see that?
All right, we'll take donations.
You got it. Put me down for $8.50.
All right. Well, someone needs to be a bookie then and take the bets on it. Who would actually?
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be your bookie.
Now that wasn't on who was winning. That was just to see the fight.
That's just to see the fight.
Just to see the
Yep.
fight.
Yep.
Um,
Big money.
So
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's pretty much what it would be.
although if there were millions on the line, we've already had this discussion in one of
We
those
had this
super shows.
discussion.
For 5 million, both of us would take a solid punch.
There you go. There you go.
Would have no problem with that. It's like, here, okay, this is not this side right here, Chris.
That's right.
I just had dental work done on this side, so do this side. Yeah. It's a brand new tooth in here. Oh my goodness. So no. Also altitude. Altitude is a thing here, by the way. Because now we don't know if I at least don't know if I'm tired because I'm exhausted because I got up at 3 a.m. New Jersey time.
Yeah, me too.
We got up at ridiculous middle of the night hours. I don't care if it was after midnight. It's the middle of the night.
And it's 12:20 now.
And it's now on my time, 12:20. Yeah. So I don't know if it's elevation, if it's we're just legit exhausted.
Speaking of which, what time are we getting up? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll figure that. We'll figure.
All right,
that
you know what? Here's a question. For coming into a trade show, because I know when I fly into Hershey, it's going to be a stupid flight. I'm taking a red eye into Atlanta.
Yep.
Okay, and then having a layover. All right. No, actually, I'm having a layover in Detroit. Okay. And then heading out to Harrisburg. All right. And so it takes, if it's a red eye, that means I am leaving for the airport. So I'm getting up regular time. Okay. So I'm not even like I'm going to even get to sleep at all. And Lord knows I will not sleep on a plane. I cannot sleep on a plane.
I can't either.
I'm out.
I can't.
I sleep on planes.
I have taken like medication, prescription medication prescribed to knock you out. And I am just like, boom, eyes wide open. I'm not getting any sleep.
I started to cry because I can't, I switch positions. I try and put my head back. I eventually start whimpering.
I want to
I'm
say that
just
was
so
also
frustrated.
last year's
I don't
Chicago to
hear that one.
Vegas
Usually sounds
or year
like-
before.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my husband will just knock out. It's like, I'll see you in the morning. But anyway, so here's the thing. So I'm coming into Hershey on a red eye. All right. And providing there's no delays, I'm going to get there that morning around 11:30, knowing I'm teaching a class at 7. Oh God, people, please pray for me. And then teaching a class. And then I'm going to crash.
Now, Mary, oh God,
Yes.
this feels fantastic because I so rarely get to do this. Who booked that flight for you?
I did.
And you did this to yourself. Why?
No other way to get out to Harrisburg unless I take a red eye with a layover somewhere.
So you couldn't have gone in the day before and gotten in the day earlier, so you would have been fresh for your class and gotten a chance to rest and relax, or flown into Newark and gotten a ride with me, like I think I offered.
You can do that.
So, Mary,
Yes.
we need to have a chat about self-care.
Yeah. There's reasons why I'm not leaving a day earlier, which I'm not going to mention on air.
All right. All right. I'm just saying, I
know.
don't like the phrase can't, because it's very, I've noticed, and I'm guilty of this. I say I can't do something, and I usually can.
Okay, but the point I was making with that, there is a point to this, Chris. Okay. All right.
Okay.
For those of us who cannot sleep on a red eye, all right, we're coming in, we're exhausted. What tips do you have to like actually falling asleep? Chris, how are you going to fall asleep tonight? Are you going to be one of those that you're going to hit the pillow and you're going to be out cold?
Yeah. I'm probably going to be out cold.
But is that normal for you?
No.
Are you just one of those people that as soon as
No.
your head hits the pillow, you're out cold?
No.
Yeah.
For me, no. I will play matching games on my phone because it tunes my brain out.
I can't do that.
I can't either.
You
I
can't
can't
what?
do anything that has to engage my brain. You know what I do? Honestly,
What?
She knows. You guys, we've talked about it. I sit and I watch people clean rugs.
Oh, those
yes.
are good.
You showed me that video. That is something.
I sit there and I will pull up on YouTube
rug
cleaning.
Have you ever seen that?
And I will sit there and watch it.
That's
no, you should see this.
They
have a channel here that's just like traffic cams.
Yeah,
No
it's
talk.
it's they take these rugs that look like they have been buried for 3 years, and they have it on the big floor, and they have the people with the hip waders on, and they wash and scrub and power wash these rub and squeegee and
soap it again.
they're, I don't know why they're
they
are very relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I should download a couple and put them on my phone for my plane.
Try
have,
it.
Have you tried that on a plane?
See, on a plane, I don't need to.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking Abby.
Oh, Abby, have you tried doing that on a plane?
No, I haven't.
Oh, see?
I
they
find
get them from
anything that I watch while
landfills.
I'm on a plane, like I'll put on something that I don't really want to see or that I've already seen, and I just become fascinated with it anyway.
I think about watching dolphins sleep.
Okay.
Works every
There you go.
time. Yeah.
No, nothing has ever worked for me.
Another thing I sometimes do if I'm having problems, and I have done this on planes, is I have one audiobook that is my go-to that I've listened to so many times, and I will just put that in my headphones and play it really low, and it like is soothing because I know it. So that helps too. So something you know really well that's soothing. It's not a really huge, exciting book. I mean,
Well, I'm always flying with Mo, and he's always asleep. So I think part of my problem with sleeping on a plane is that I'm obsessed with the desire to just smack the shit out of him. So I can't sleep.
Oh, Abby, I feel you.
A lot of people want to slap the shit out of me.
Well, you and my husband as well.
As long as they can sleep.
Mo's such a nice guy.
I do what I can.
All right, so we have our last shout out, which is who, Chris?
Which is Evolution Shears is our last shout out. So if there's one thing, if there's two, this is how tired I am. If there's two things that you would want people to know about Evolution Shears, what would it be?
Who are you asking?
You and Abby, not me, the rest of the team Evolution. And did you know Mo is the best sharpener like ever?
I'm pretty good.
Can I say what my frustration is with it?
Yeah.
Is the number of people who still refuse to even
Try.
try them.
Yes.
It's really very. I just find it very
Yeah.
frustrating that we can't get some people to even
Just try. Don't doubt yourself.
Just put them on your
Just
hand.
give
and
it a
It's
try.
just so you
Give
know
it a
what they
try.
feel like.
I mean,
You don't have. We are really not a pushy,
No.
demanding booth.
No.
We're more than happy to just let you try them and then walk away. We don't
Think
care. We just want
positively
people to try them.
and
Yes.
try it.
Yeah.
You know, that's really it.
Don't
thing-
say you can't do it.
my thing is that you pay all this money to
To
go to a show.
Yes.
And you're going to that show to, number one, learn, okay, to get knowledge. Number two, that's where you're going to find out where all the new tools and everything and all the new innovations are and everything. So why would you go and limit yourself? Go to every single booth. Go try
Learn.
every pair of shears that you can get your hands on. Go. I mean, absolutely. That's one of the whole reasons that we go to
That's why
these
we go
shows.
there.
Yeah.
Try.
What they said, except I am an asshole. And they are nice.
Thank you.
And I am a jerk and a Weisenheimer. And I get some level of joy. And I usually do this, usually happens one person a show where, and they'll be like, they'll kind of steer them towards me. They'll get that one person. Oh, I don't like swivels. I don't like swivels. And I'm like, have you tried ours? No, I just don't like swivels. And I go through it with them, and not everyone, but usually one person a show will go, oh, because ours are different than all the other swivels because they're fit to your hand and we take the time to teach you to use them. So they'll go, oh. And then I go, because, I'm a bitch. I go, oh, but you don't like swivels. So let me just take those from you because we can't sell them to you because you don't like swivels and we don't want to sell you something you don't like. And then if they're really my people, they cuss me out and we laugh and it's good.
Okay, so want to wrap things up?
Yes,
We will come up with something.
We will come up with something
Some
for
kind
okay.
of coupon. We've done. Obviously, we're not giving away free scissors to the
Well,
first 20 people that
yeah,
walk up,
no.
but we'll do something.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
come
come
up
up
with
with like a coupon.
A
We'll come up
coupon.
with a coupon that we
Either
can
a
print
discount
out.
on scissors or some free sharpenings, or
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
we'll come up with something.
Yeah, we'll do so.
And I'm not going to ask what we did for self-care this week.
No.
We're skipping our self-care segment because this week's self-care was spending
Buying a cane.
spending
Walking stick.
$50 on a walking stick, but it's helpful. It's helpful because I think I took a bad ankle and twisted it is what happened, I think.
Okay, well, I hope you feel better.
I'm sure I will. I'm confident I'm going to go take care of it.
Put it up, and I said,
Okay, so Chris, hit the button.
Whee! Well, that was fun.
We can't hear
But
it.
now it's time to head home.
They can hear it.
We
That's
hope
what
you enjoyed
matters.
listening as much as we
They can
enjoyed
see.
chatting
We're
with
still
you.
here.
If there are any
We're just gonna
topics
make-
you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in
And
the
it's still
Traveling
blinking.
Groomers Facebook
So
page.
it's on.
I'm just talking
Don't
over
forget
it. To thank our
Make a
sponsors.
joke.
And see you next week, guys. Safe travels.
Safe travels.
Safe